Welcome to your daily focus for October the 6th, 2022. Okay, clarity comes in, understanding comes in. We arrive at answers, solutions that have eluded us over the past several weeks while Mercury went retrograde. So we'll get into that and so much more. Let's start at the beginning. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Okay, let's start with the sixth energy. The sixth energy is, well, it's health and well-being. Absolutely, it's health and well-being. It could have a lot to do with relationships. It could have a lot to do with our voice in debating or bargaining or negotiating. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 13 energy. Now, 13s get a bad rap, okay? Everybody thinks unlucky 13. There's a whole history behind it with Venus and why 13 became the unlucky number and why it was the luckiest, actually dated the month at one point in time in history. A lot of times, something happens in our lives, though, that we didn't appreciate. And it's that very thing that moves us right into success, right into joy, right into happiness. So go with the flow. See what comes in front of you. Don't say yes or no to anything without thinking it through a little bit. Because it could be a step into greatness that you weren't expecting. 1 + 3 is a 4. And that's about getting your ducks in a row. That's making sure that you have laid a solid foundation or where your foundation needs work so that you can build with strength upon it. Sun is in Libra. By the time we've had breakfast, we started going for the day even. But before lunchtime, I would think the moon will move from Aquarius into Pisces. So whenever we have that Pisces energy, know that we probably won't be the most productive if we're trying to do something manual, something like manual labor in some way. It just won't go as smoothly as we want it to. It's a time for kicking back, rest, restoration, laughter, joy, celebration, dreaming, meditation, pondering over things, contemplating, praying. That's the kind of energy that we want to accept in. It's also about life and death. So it's about giving up some things or changing some behaviors or habits. And that's really the sixth energy, right? With our health and well-being is changing some habits or behaviors that just doesn't work with us anymore. Or maybe we realize that we only kept that part of our life into our life or with our lives because it was our excuse, it was our go-to, why we couldn't follow through on a promise or help with something, or we didn't get it done. We can use that excuse. Didn't have the time, the energy, the resources to get it done, and we have that excuse, and we realize that it's really not a reality, that we are simply using that. I guess the highlight really is Mercury and Pluto, because as you know, in August, we had them talking in harmony. And then late September, we had them talking in harmony. I think it's a trine, but don't quote me on that. But I know it's a harmonious, a strong harmony there for them. So it's probably a trine. And now we're experiencing it again. So this is, remember I was saying in Mercury, like, don't say yes to anything, don't say no to anything, don't sign the contracts unless you thought it through. More information is coming. Don't make that decision yet. If you can at all avoid it, or you haven't thought it all the way through yet, please give it thought. And so now this is the third time that we are walking this path. So wow, watch the answers come forward for you. Watch the clarity come in, the understanding. You're going to get that aha moment. You're going to get an epiphany to how to go forward, how to step in that direction. What would be the first practical next step? Maybe you can't land that job you want, so you get into a job that is around it. So so that you start to know the people that you one day will be working with. They just don't know it yet. And they're probably going to help you succeed in getting that placement or that job. Or you want to meet somebody and now you know the proper, like you went to this environment and oh, the people there, and you went to this environment and I'm really not liking the mood of that area. But now you have that understanding. You didn't know which direction to really take your new business in, because you had a hat full of different ideas that could take you in different directions, and you get the clarity, the understanding of what the next step is, the decision that you need to make, the contract that you need to sign. And know that this is an incredibly powerful time then with Mercury and Pluto in harmony together to, once again, it's about debating things. It's about bargaining with people. It's about negotiating favorable deals between the two of you, or making that major purchase like that house or that car, that education. If you're into sales work, or if you're trying to sell yourself or your business idea. Fabulous energy. And it's going to be like this probably for the next 2 or 3 days. It is starting to wane. I think today is the peak, right? But this has actually been happening. So you've maybe already experienced some of this happening in your life. And we've had some beautiful days, very harmonious days leading up to this. So I'm sure Mercury trining Pluto, if it's a trine, is working in conjunction with that kind of energy and really giving us a flow. If we do have free will, you don't have to embrace the energy, but for goodness sakes, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's just sparkling with magic and rainbows and your fairy dust, so come on, like, just think outside the box. Expect your dreams to come true. Expect what you have as a thought of your perfect life, your best life ever, show up in your reality. And will it take time? Yes. Will it take work? Absolutely. Will there be struggles and conflicts? Yeah, there will be. But you're up for the challenge. Because you know what's at the end. You've seen it. You've seen it in your mind. You know that you have to push through. And it's this kind of beautiful energy day. We have this natural ability right now to just zero in on what matters most. So utilize it. Journal today. It's kind of a laid back kind of day. So dream about it, journal about it, meditate about it, pray about it. And Mercury, we might have to talk to people about it. We may have to sell ourselves or our idea or who we are, or maybe we're into sales and we're selling the car, we're selling the house, we're selling the boat, whatever it may be. It's just a natural ability to do those things today and to step into that person that we don't let out maybe a lot of the time. We're very strong in that area. So trust yourself a little bit more in what you have to say and what you need to say in order to secure that foot on your path, that placement, that foot placement on your path, so you can start taking the next one and the next one and the next one. So we have been looking in the past for the answers, and finally we really see it without the blinders on. We see it for what it is. We see it in stark reality. And we may have been avoiding some of this stuff. This energy will not let us avoid it because it's so important to move past it, to not let it linger anymore in your life. So it's a great time, especially any kind of mental work, okay? But I strongly encourage you to journal. Write it down. Think about your best life ever and what would it take, one step at a time. Where do you start? What do you start in? And I know you've been asking yourself these questions, and you will get the answers today. Trust me on that one. All of a sudden, and the energy is already there. I was thinking, I'm doing the procrastination series coming up on Patreon, and I've got a lot of it put together, and I formally said that it's going to start next week. So I've put a date into stone when I have to start doing it. And I thought, okay, so I'm doing it in 6 weeks. I'm giving 3 different assignments within the 3 weeks, right? One will be me talking. One is what I call a soft meditation. And then the other one will be a 1-page thing to read and some self-reflection questions at the end of it. And I got the writing all done. That's all ready to go for the most part. I've got the soft meditations. I might throw in a meditation or two as well. But the big thing is, how do I do the one-on-one, the reality, the here and now, and what you can do in the present in order to move yourself forward and sit here and really talk to you about each step, because you're all unique and everything. And so I decided to go back on a course that I had taken 10 years ago. But I have it still on my phone because it keeps following me with every update. And I listened to the guy's first sentence and I went, I know what to do. It all came to me in like a phoom. And I have been not procrastinating about it, but really trying to think it through. And, because I want to give valuable content to you. Absolutely. So, and I want to do it in a way that it moves you forward, because that's why I'm here. That I feel that's my mission in life. That's my responsibility, is to be here for you and to motivate you to see your greatness, to see your potential, to know that you are loved, to know that you are worthy, and to guide you through the energy so that you are having very successful steps going forward. Anyways, yeah, so the epiphanies can just come at you, and maybe you've already had an epiphany, and just because you've had one doesn't mean you're not going to have another and another and another before this energy moves on. So be open to messages and give yourself the space to allow those messages in. I mean, sit in quiet. Close the door. Sit in the bathroom. That's where you get the quiet. Sit there, close the door, leave your phone on the outside, okay? No stimulation whatsoever, and just think about what you really want to bring in. And start making the plan. And you'll get the aha moment. You'll get the epiphany. You'll hear them because it's finally quiet enough to hear them. And it might be a thought that pops into your mind. It might be you look at the magazine rack and that one picture just goes, that's it. Eureka. So anyways, we'll get to the cards here. I'm blabbering far too much, but it is a very exciting kind of energy that we're in, that we can really propel ourselves forward if we so choose to. So I invite you to use that energy and use it wisely. Okay, here we go. Our shadow card is, you guys know before I do, look at that, the Four of Wands. We have the Four energy, Four of Wands. Here we are, okay? We stand here. Let's see where the card shows up the best for you. We stand here. There's a castle in the background. And we've got these four wands. We've stuck them into the ground. That's as far as we've gotten. We've thrown a little bit of garland over it because, well, we just wanted to fancy it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more like the castle we are building for ourselves. But that is our foundation. And we're celebrating the fact that we've got the foundation. We've got the outline. We don't know about how many windows there's going to be yet, how many doorways, how many levels. We don't know any of that stuff yet. And that's all in the gray area, and that's okay. We're going to celebrate the fact that we are in a position to take that step, that next step. And that if we didn't do the work up till now, we wouldn't be able to take that step. And I know if you're here and you're watching me, you've already done the work. Okay, because they just want, so long as you're doing the work. And you're doing the work if you're here, because you're showing up and you're listening to the energy and trying to take the right step. And that's 9/10 of the battle, of just keeping that constant reminder of moving forward and knowing what's around you and what you can utilize that day and what you shouldn't be utilizing. If this is the day that you were going to build that cement pad, you might get it done, but it's not going to be as much fun that it could be at other times in your life. It's not that you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. It's just, there's times when doing physical labor, it just brings out the best in you, and you're enjoying it, and you're feeling strong, and you're feeling capable, and maybe you're outside in the fresh air and the sun in your face, and it makes you come alive. But the energy is also helping you do that. Now we have that Pisces moon, and that Pisces moon will make a big difference to how we approach Mercury and Pluto. And how we want to approach Mercury and Pluto is by taking it back and dream building with ourselves, allowing certain things to close in our life so that we can start these new habits, these new behaviors, and maybe invite in new beliefs. So this is a time to celebrate yourself. This is a time to say, you know what? I'm here. I woke up this morning and I'm here. So that is worth celebrating. And I know I'm going forward. I may not know how I'm going forward yet, but I'm going forward. Don't worry, the answer will probably come today. Okay, or tomorrow or the next day, but it's coming. Okay, so just Two of Swords. Two of Swords is there's decisions to be made here. Strong decisions, emotional decisions. Now here we are, we're dressed in red, so it's going to take courage. It's going to take strength. There might even be a lot of passion involved in whatever decision you're making. The waters behind you, oh my gosh, they're starting to build up, the waves, and it's rough, and this is the kind of weather that if you took your boat out there, you would capsize if it was very small. So there's a lot of emotion, and you have to allow that emotion in and allow it to go through you. We don't want to hang on to it, but you want to say, I know you're here, I see you, I'm experiencing you, and I'm going to experiencing you, and then I'm going to let you go. And you will not be invited back in because I need to make decisions. I need to make this decision. Now, the key thing I think with this card, if you're trying to read the cards yourself, is that I've never seen a deck where we're not wearing the blindfold. And the reason for that is the truth already lays within you. You need to have the conversation with yourself about what's best, how you see it's best going forward. And listen to your emotion. You're trying to make a decision on yes or no, and how do you feel making that decision? What does it do? Does it tense you up? Does it make you smile? Are you breathing deeply, or is it a shallow breath? Is there that pain in the pit of your gut? Is your heart opening up to, you just feel the expansion of? Turn it inwardly and not only just have that conversation with yourself, but pay attention to what your body is saying. Every single emotion releases a chemical into our bodies. Our brain is made that way. So every emotion releases a chemical. So what happens when you have fear? What happens when you have anxiety? Okay, so you have to be very proactive in your thoughts and paying attention to your body. Paying attention to, if it's not feeling right now, when you're internally, it's not going to feel good when you bring it out into the external, into your environment. So it might be very hard decisions. I also see the moon with this light coming down. So maybe, the full moon is days away. So if this is something that I would say that really the light shines on everything during the full moon, when you really have to make that decision. But right now, it's about going inwardly and thinking it through. And these are hard decisions. These aren't easy decisions for you. So that's why we're in red. It's about our courage and embracing our courage and saying, I know this is best. I don't even like it myself, but I know this is best. I know they're going to be angry. I know they're not going to talk to me. That's okay. Next week, it'll be something else. They'll forget all about it. You do you. Look at what we end up with. Ta-da, the sun. It's all about you. It's all about you. I did that, and then I pulled the sun because I said it's all about you, and then I pulled the sun card, and my one of my mentors told me, in my readings, I should just hold the card there and talk to you, and then show you the card for some validation. So that's kind of like a validation, right? Because I just did it. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, so here we are. This is phenomenally accurate for what I've already told you. We're standing in this field. Now we see the the mature sunflowers there, that symbolizes that you have done the work, that you've gone through the processes, that you are ready to step into a new path. Now, that light is not coming from the sun, it's coming from you. And so what is happening in here is you were almost in a place, see there's a little bit of shadow? I mean, as we look onto the card and you're pointing in a certain direction, it's all lit up, but you see the shadow there? Okay, you were in a darker place. It was like you were in a darkened room and you couldn't see the way out. Maybe you had this little candle, and just as you thought you had where it wasn't there, and you bumped your head. And your light raises, and you illuminate the world around you. And what do you get? You see the path forward. You see where you need to go. You see the portal. You see the doorway. You get that aha moment. You get that epiphany. You are ready for this experience. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to procrastinate because you see the way forward. It's like somebody threw on the light switch. That's what you are like today. So raise your energy. Celebrate you. Get excited about who you are and where you're going and just how great and wonderful you are. Please. Okay, and when you feel that energy just bubbling up inside of you, imagine your life, your best life ever. And I don't care where the doorway is that you're closest to, but then you're gonna say, "What?" And say, "I'm entering my new reality now." And you step through that doorway, and do that throughout the day if you can. Watch how some things just, you'll feel the tingle. You'll get, all of a sudden this will happen or that will happen or things will come together in the most peculiar ways. I heard peculiar and I couldn't find a word to replace that. So we're going to go with peculiar. Peculiar. It's a peculiar word to say. Okay, let's get a mantra here. Oh, the deck is restless tonight. They're restless. They're saying, come on, get on with it. So let's do it. So our mantra, let's see here. Creative wonderment, follow your passion. Can't make this stuff up. Look at that staircase we're walking up. Now pink. Pink is love. Pink is romance. Pink is... it's soft. It's tender. It's sensual. And then we have that beautiful yellow. Okay, that's your solar plexus, and that's the sun energy, right? And it's just around you. Is that your light? Is that your light that you are casting as you walk your path upwards? You walk that staircase to the next level of your development, your new job, your new journey, your new learning experience, your new relationship, your new habits, responsibilities, obligations, your new passions, your desires, your wants. Okay, let's see what the book has to say about that. Creative wonderment. Follow your passion. Oops. I think I went right by it. Okay, creative wonderment. You are able to bring to fruition something within your imagination that you alone have thought of. I got goosebumps. Being creative is relaxing and therapeutic, whether it's cooking, sewing, woodwork, photography, writing, art, whatever it may be that stimulates your imagination. This is the time for you to create and inspire. Utilize your skills, take classes, follow your passion. You will one day have the opportunity to turn your heartfelt creativity into your life's work. So begin by creating a labor of love. The mantra is, I am inspired to be creative. I am inspired to be creative. And we'll get an animal card. Oh, I got goosebumps. I read that first line. I use so many words and they use a sentence and they get the point across, don't they? Mini novels. When I worked, they knew I was the mini novel person. I couldn't just write a fast email with, oh, I went on and on. And then I go back and I take half of it out, and it was still like 5 pages in length. Anyways, our animal care. Look at this, the pronghorn action. Now is the time. I can see that much, but shoot. I like holding it up for you. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. So there you are, right? Opportunities are here. Now is the time to act because opportunities are here. Now, acting is journaling it out, writing it out. The pros, not even the pros and cons, the strategy going forward. We're past the pros and cons. We're seeing, we ourselves illuminate our own path forward by raising our energy, which allows God, our angels, our spirit guides, the cosmos, the universe to whisper in our ears and we hear. And it may come across as our own thought. It may be an angel shows up in the shape of another person and they just take you by the hand and walk you to the information you needed or the doorway that you needed to walk through. So yeah, there could be even situations today, since I just said that, where you meet somebody, they become your mentor or they lead you to your new learning experience or your new teacher. It's a beautiful time. So it's a beautiful time, I heard, to spread your wings and fly. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.